our principal, he was having one of the students.
No.
He was Full High is like the Raiders, thugs out there, bro. Yeah, he's my biggest inspiration. And not only that, when he was first born, my son had what's called congenital heart disease. I don't know if I want to bring up the history of who the song's about.
Nah, you have to.
Damn, bro.
I used to have a lot more friends before I started podcasting. And when I did have friends, all I could talk about is podcasting, other podcasts. I feel like I was the annoying friend sometimes. Cringiest high school memories, dog.
Oh my God. So I've always been into music, and I think the biggest, cringiest one is when
What's poppin'? It's your boy Moses, aka Nomo, chilling right here in the Let Out Podcast. Got a very special guest in the building. I got Mr.
Jonathan Nunez, but y'all could just call me Nunez. Going on. You can find me on Spotify, Apple, whatever streaming service. Yeah.
Welcome to Southgate, dog. The first and last time you're probably ever gonna be in Southgate. The only time people pull up is to be on the Let Out Podcast, man.
Bro, I grew up around this area. Every other weekend with my dad going out. I actually love it. Love the people.
Okay. Where'd you grow up?
My dad grew up in well, not grew up, but we used to go to Pico every other weekend. My dad lived out there, and we used to go hang out in Downey, come down to Southgate, maybe get some food, stuff like that.
Okay. So you are familiar with the area then.
A little bit.
That's what's up, man. Appreciate you pulling up to the podcast.
Appreciate you.
You know, I just want to get straight into it, dog. Tell us what you do.
So I make music, and that's probably one of my biggest things in life is just that's where my passion lays. Like, no matter what I'm doing, every time I try to let me go do this with my life, let me do this, somehow music always comes back. It's like, nah, bitch, this is you. This is what you need to do. And it's like, I'll have dreams. Like, I'm not trying to sound cliche or anything, but like, I feel like this is what God wanted me to do. And that's why in my music, I do try to spread messages and not only just like talk about, the typical like, oh, rap, money, like drugs, all that type of shit. Like, yeah, I have songs talking about stuff like that because who doesn't like to hear that occasionally?
Right.
But I also do want to talk about like my son or talk about my struggles and how I grew up, where I grew up, what I did and stuff like that.
I was going over your discography the last few days and shit. And, as soon as when you listen to somebody off the top, you're like, okay, this guy does this. This guy's a rapper. This guy's a singer. This guy's R&B. But I felt like I had you figure out, and then the next song would be something completely different. Why do you think that's important to like kind of switch it up on every song?
Well, honestly, bro, it's like one of the things too, like I have good art, there'll be artists I'll listen to and I'm like, bro, every song sounds the same. Like it's cool. Like they talk about different things, but I try to mix up the flow a lot. Like I don't like to just have one genre. Like if I could be a multi-genre artist, like fuck it, I'll fuck around and make a country album one of these days if I really feel it, because I take inspiration from everything, whether it's country, whether it's R&B, rap, pop, hip-hop, even opera music. Like if I'm just sitting down, like if I need to get shit done, like if I need some white noise and I need to study or whatever the fuck I'm doing at the time, I'll put on some opera music and just take inspiration from that.
But I also noticed that you kind of have like a pretty high output when it comes to songs and stuff. Usually sometimes, people get started, have 4 or 5 songs. How long have you been doing music?
Honestly, seriously, not until like maybe the last 2 years. That's when I dropped my first album,
okay,
Mr. Unconventional. That project was maybe like a year into work before I even dropped it beforehand. Yeah, I just started doing that and just kept going with it and just saw good numbers coming from that album. Especially one of the songs that started popping off was, I think, La Di Da. One of that songs on there. Like it was like the biggest, like everyone was like, bro, this needs to be on the fucking radio. Like we need to play this. And I was like, bro, I'm trying. Like I'm trying, bro. That's the goal. I'm not out here just like, well, fuck it. You know what I mean? But
right.
Yeah, it just started taking off. And like every time I dropped the album and I was like, you know what, I'm done. I saw it, and then I had a show maybe a year ago, and then everyone was like, oh, when are you gonna drop another album? And I was like, fuck, let me get back in the lab, and then started writing. Like I'm always writing, whether I decide to quit or not, no matter what, that's my therapy. Like I'm always gonna write it down. Like it started with poetry, but then after that it just became music, and it just took off from there.
Why do you keep going hard?
Honestly, the biggest inspiration, and I'd have to say, is my son, because so I'm a young dad. Like I'm 25 now, but when I had him, when I found out 18, and how he was born 19. And it was just, one of the most biggest life-changing moments. Like I know you understand, you know what I mean?
Story, yeah,
similar story, but yeah, like it's just my life before that, I had no idea what I was gonna do with my life. Like I didn't know, am I gonna go to school? Am I gonna just continue my job currently at In-N-Out? Like am I gonna focus on that? Like there's many options, and beforehand, like my life was kind of like iffy. Like I was real messy. Like I wasn't knowing what I was gonna do with my life. I was going down the wrong path, wrong people, doing all that type of stuff. And I found out I was gonna have a son. And like never in my mind was like, I need to get rid of it. Like I'm not gonna be like, never. Like I sat down with my baby mama and I was just like, we did this, we have to do it. And like she agreed, she was on the same page. But it was cool. My mom was like sad. She was like, oh, Jonathan, like you're so young. Like why are you doing this with your life? And I was like, Mom, it's just like it's like, I'm not gonna run away from my mistakes. My sister, on the other hand, fuck, dude, my oldest sister, she's like my second mom. Like But the reaction she got to this day was crazy. She's like, "You need to get an abortion. You need to get rid of him. Like, fuck that. You're too young." And I was just like, okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to do that, but I appreciate it. But now, guess who loves him the fucking most? You know what I mean? It's crazy how that works. But yeah, he's my biggest inspiration. And not only that, when he was first born, my son had what's called congenital heart disease. But the crazy thing is we didn't know that. The first thing they told us was like, hey, your son's not using the restroom yet. It's kind of odd for a newborn not to go to the bathroom yet. So then they took a closer look and they realized his digestional tract wasn't fully developed. So then they took us to a specialist in Anaheim from Ontario. We got to Anaheim and they brought me and my ex at the time to talk. And they're like, hey, we have bad news. He actually has also congenital heart disease. And then my heart dropped. I was just like, I remember we were going to go back and tell our family. And they're just like, I was about to, couldn't even said one word and then broke down. I just couldn't breathe, anything. So then he was in the NICU for the past maybe like 2 weeks. And then, I went through the surgeries. Everything went good. Thank you to God. God bless and stuff like that. But my biggest inspiration from that is my son, ever since he was born, he was fighting. He was always tough. He was always strong. He was always never made an excuse because he didn't even know the concept of an excuse is. He just wanted to keep fighting. He wanted to keep pushing. And I'm over here giving up on a dream and giving up on a goal. And what message does that give him? Like, yeah, I get it. Like, I do want to provide for my son. I want to make sure I can give him the best life and be better life that I ever gave him and like build a legacy for him. And what message does it give up? Like, I have this talent, I have this gift, and I have this dream. And for me to just be like, you know what? Let me just settle. It doesn't really, give off the right message, I feel like.
Okay. That's fucking crazy, dog. That's a crazy ass story.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I was 18 when I found out, 17 when I found out. Baby was born when I was 19, around 19. But it's one of the reasons where like I knew my son was coming. I tried to make it work with the baby mama. Didn't end up working. Like I got married and divorced like within a year or two. You know, married right away and divorced real quick, and it's been me and him ever since. So I kind of like feel that, dog. Like, I go hard as far as like trying to make this thing work to provide and give a better life to my son, right? But at the same time, like, what are some of the things that are difficult that on this path that like, because we all have to make sacrifices, right? Like right here, right now, like I'm making a sacrifice. I had to tuck him in early and shit like that. What are some of the sacrifices you do for your son to, chase your dream?
Well, like one of the biggest sacrifices, like one of the things my family know about me is like I'm constantly always like working. Like I'm either like I do work at In-N-Out currently, but I also do have like other side jobs. Like I worked at Top Golf, I worked at bartending, like whatever I can do to pay the bills, but also not lose sight of what my main goal is. Like, yeah, I'm struggling now. Yeah, I'm fighting, but at least long as he's taken care of and I'm still able to like provide for him and give him the best life I can currently, I'm still gonna keep fighting, keep trying to do something better and get the next step.
That's dope. Because off camera, you did mention that he was in private school too, right?
Yeah, he's in private school.
How's that?
Yeah, private Christian school, bro. That is another story. It's cool. I like it a lot because it's like I do have a strong faith. I may not be super religious, but a lot of my decision and a lot of my goals, I do spend time talking to God and asking him like, what do you think is the best option for me, and always praying for him and always asking for signs and guidance and stuff like that. So it's nice that my son is also getting that and learning that. But yeah, it's cool. I like it. Like, I guess they get like Chick-fil-A every so often and stuff like that. I'm like,
that's coming out of your pocket, my boy.
Yeah, bro. Honestly, bro. Like, damn, bro. Like, either I get Chick-fil-A, he gets Chick-fil-A. I'm like, nah, you go Chick-fil-A.
How does it feel that they don't give him In-N-Out? Why do they give him Chick-fil-A?
Bro, because I'm over that In-N-Out, bro. I could bring that to him. Like, bro, here's my burger, dog. You can have it. I don't want that no more. It's cool. In-N-Out's cool.
Do you get free food working at In-N-Out?
Only when I work. Only days that I work.
And how much free food? Like, what's the limit?
One burger per shift. So you get one burger per shift. It's cool.
That's not bad.
Nah, it's chill. I like it.
It's like a double, and like you can't do a 4x4.
Nah, you can't do double. What you can do, if you do want an animal fry, what you can do is you can get a double meat. I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble for that, but I don't think it's a big deal. I don't know if it's a big deal, but any associates out there, I'm pretty sure it's allowed. Never got in trouble. You get a double meat, and those 2 pieces of cheese that you would put on your burger, we're allowed to get fries. Like, we're allowed to get fries. So you get a double meat and then get the 2 slices of cheese you're going to put on your burger. You can put on the animal fries and just, make yourself some animal fries. But I don't do that. I'm trying to get back in shape. You know what I mean? But at first, bro, when I first got hired, bro, I gained easily at least like 60 pounds. Bro.
Are you serious?
Bro, seriously, bro.
60?
I was like, so I got hired. I was 150 when I got hired. And then started dating my baby mama, so you know how that goes. Like you just
Yeah.
fucking fuck the gym.
Fuck, sex, and fuck.
That's
all you
it,
do.
bro. That's literally it. And sex, low key, people like, oh, what'd you do? Cardio at home, bitch. That is not enough cardio,
that
bro.
3-minute cardio session, bro.
2 pumps and I'm done, bro.
Oh, I said fuck, sex, and fuck. It's like eat, fuck, and sleep. That's all you do when you get a girlfriend, especially in the beginning, you know?
Yeah, bro, that's it. And just like, so not only that, but we're also going out. So then when I go to work, I'm eating my burger. Like, it's like, it's a good way to save money though. Like there'll be days where I work all day and I just eat that. I'm good. But yeah, when I first got hired, I was getting pretty big, and then found the gym again and started going back into that. But
okay. You know, I've always heard that In-N-Out's like one of the better fast food joints to work at and shit. Do you recommend it? Like, do you feel like it's a good spot to work
no,
at?
I love it. I love it. Don't get me wrong. Like, there's like every job has it up and downs, and like there's times where you're just like, oh, like what else can I be doing? But I'm grateful for In-N-Out because no matter what I've gone through, like it's been there for help me pay the bills. It's helped me take care of my son, and it's honestly, it does have good opportunities. Like there was a time where I didn't want to go into management, and the management side of it it's honestly probably the best career that you can do without going to school, because it's just it's helpful, and they do look after their people, and we do have an amazing owner, Lindsay. She is like associate and customer base, where it comes to like, I want to take care of the customer, I want to make sure that the customer is good, but not only that, I want to make sure the people that are working for me are also just as good or just as great, you know what I mean? But so I love it. It's a good place.
You did mention God a little bit, and your son's going to Christian school. Are you Christian or?
Yeah, Christian.
The reason why I asked is because you're Mexican, right?
Yeah.
And most Mexicans are Catholic.
No, I am baptized. I did my first communion and stuff like that. Like I do practice, like I do have Catholic tendencies still. Like I'll still like before I get on the freeway, I'm like, Padre Dios, or something like stuff like that.
Persínate.
Yeah, persínate, my cabrón. I'm like, so I'll still do stuff like that, and then like, yeah, like it has nothing to do with just like I prefer Christianity over Catholic. Being Catholic is just more so the path that I was going on led me towards the Christian church. Like, just started going to Christian church like more recently, but. Yeah, grew up Catholic, but just not until now. It's just like, I think I understand Christianity more. Like, at least when it comes to like the message, and like never really about like the whole, like, I don't know. It's like really.
I feel like Catholicism is a little bit more complicated because they have like 100 saints.
Yeah, I think that's what
the
it is.
Virgin
Like,
Mary. Where like Christianity is like the Holy Spirit, the Father, the God, and like Jesus. And that's it. You know, it's a little more simplified. You know. But did you grow up in a Spanish church or English church?
Spanish. So Sacred Heart in Rancho Cucamonga, Spanish service.
And then now you're Christian. Is it kind of like an English church?
Yeah,
more?
it's English, bro. Always English. Even when I take my mom like converted to Christianity too.
Okay.
And when I take her, we always go to the Christian, because she'll try to drag me to the Spanish one. I'm like, oh man, like
takes forever.
I'm like, dude, like.
And then I feel like the Spanish Catholic churches or whatever, like the father starts talking about himself, like he makes it about him, like he's a star. Like, bitch, it's about Jesus, motherfucker, not you.
Yeah, bro. And it's just crazy, because when I go to Christian churches, like, I don't know, maybe it's one of those things where it's just like kind of like when a psychic is telling you things, like, and they hit questions like, oh shit, they're talking about me. But it's like, it's weird because every time I go to church and then like there's a message, I'm like, there's no way he knows I'm going through some stuff right now like this. But I don't know. But like I said, like God's plan, God always has a purpose, and maybe that's exactly where I need to be in that moment. So that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, dog. I feel like you know, the Catholic Church is I don't got nothing against Catholic people or Christian, because I don't practice either one. Like I just believe in God, and like, you know, like trying to be a good person, because you know, growing up when you're young, you like to beat your chest and like do all sorts of crazy shit. I was a terror before, you know.
Yeah.
But like, tell me some of your earliest like musical memories. Like, who taught you how to sing? How do you know how to sing?
So honestly, bro, no one taught me how to sing. It was just one of those like self-learned talents. Like, so I think where I want to say was the main place where it started was, I think I was like 8 or 10 or 11. It was when the Guitar Hero World Tour came out.
Shout out to Guitar Hero.
Yeah, bro. Shout out Guitar Hero. Changed my life musically. But it was like, I grew up in a household just sisters. So, you know, like being the man, you have to be like, all right, you can have it, I guess.
Yeah,
so,
don't cry.
Yeah, bro. So they wanted the guitar. So I was like, cool, you got the guitar. And then my sister was like, I want the drums. I was like, cool. So the only thing left was the fucking microphone. I was like, bro, I don't want to fucking sing. But I guess I was like, fuck it, I guess I'll sing. So then the song that was on there that had it was Michael Jackson's Beat It. And I went off, bro. I was like maybe 10 years old, but I put, whenever I'm doing something, my mindset is like, I may not be great at it, but I'm gonna make sure I'm good at it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to just be decent. I want to make sure that I can at least make my mark on whatever I do.
Right. So
then I just started singing, and then after my tios, it was like a family party. My tios and tias were like, "Ay, mijo, tienes un bien voz. Like, that shit is good." And I was like, stop it, stop lying to me. But then ever since then, I started singing more often. And one thing I've realized that when I first started singing, I don't think it was because I was good at singing. I think it's just more so like I was good at impersonating voices. Like whether it's with my son or whether I'm out, like when I used to work with them at In-N-Out, I work at a different location now, but I used to work with a few of my friends, and like we'd always use like do like SpongeBob quotes and like Scooby Doo voices and stuff, just messing around. And like I realized like I was really good at voice impressions. So then when it came to singing, like I felt like I was good at sounding like the artist. And not until recently, or not recently, but when I started making my own music, that's when I started developing my own sound and like taking at least inspiration from them and learning the tones and learning how to hit notes in certain ways. And like I feel like that helped me a lot.
That's crazy because I've always like noticed that like Drake, Beyonce, and certain people who are like super level stars are really good at impersonations.
Yeah.
Did you get into impersonations first or music first?
I think it's just impersonations because like in school, I was always like that kid that's always fucking around in class and like getting in trouble for talking too much. Like I got good grades. Like I paid attention when it came down to it. I got down to it, but like, yeah, I was like always the one like, Jonathan, shut the fuck up. Like stop talking and then like stuff
What are
like
some
that.
What are some of the good impersonations you do? Show me some. Show me some.
What's a good one? There's fucking there used to be this kid at In-N-Out. He used to name Julian, and he used to fucking hate it. He used to hate when I would call him Julian. So I was like, whenever I needed something, like King Julian, I need a box of me, King Julian, and he'd be like, bro, stop. Like, and I was like, bro, I think he hates when I do that. Or then will be times where we'll see like a pretty girl, and then like they'll be like, hey, did you see her? And I'll just look at my friend, and I'll just be like, really? It just started dying, bro. Like just doing a bunch of random like sounds. Or when there'll be times where I remember we're at the softball. In-N-Out has like softball tournaments, so we'll have softball tournaments and we'll play and stuff like that. And there's this, you know, that fish in SpongeBob that's always talking shit, where he's just like, no matter what, it's like I was thinking the episode where like they're having the talent show and the guy's like, oh brother, this guy stinks. So they'll always be doing that. So whenever we be at work and messing around, like whenever someone messes up, that was like our go-to quote.
Yeah, that shit was a little too good, dog. That shit was a little too
Bro,
good.
I told you I love doing impressions.
That's dope, dog. You know, listening to some of your music and shit like that. The one that starts off right, because Spotify gives you the first listen off whoever has the most, I guess, listens.
Yeah.
Plays first. So tell me about your most streamed song that you have right now.
I want to say it's been varying. Right now, I think it's La Di Da.
It is. Tell me about that song.
La Di Da. So, damn, I don't know if I want to bring up the history of who the song's about.
Nah, you have to.
Damn, bro. She's gonna get so much clout. Bro. She's like, I told you.
Yeah.
But so there's this girl. I don't know if I'm saying her name, but there's this girl, and she used to work with us at In-N-Out. It's like this is the first girl I started talking to after my baby mama.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna lie, this girl like did a lot for me, like at least emotionally. Like she was always there for me. She always had my back. And like to this day, like I can't ever like I would say fuck her, but not fuck her. Does that make sense?
Kind of like helped you heal. Get
yeah,
through.
like,
I have a couple girls in mind that too also help me like get over like the baby mama thing.
Yeah, so like she was there for me for a lot, like, but yeah, so I wrote that song for her, and just like she with my first album. I'm not gonna lie, she did help me a lot.
In
with,
what way?
Like, just like giving me critique and like telling me like, oh, you should try hitting this song like this, and like especially La Di Da. I remember I pulled up to her house and we're just kicking it in my car, and I was like, oh, I wrote this song. What do you think? And she was like, try hitting it like this, and then try hitting go higher, go lower, and then rap it like this, and like she helped me a lot like with that song. So like that song.
Was she like doing music too? She was good at music.
No,
or she was just a fan.
No, she's like she tried singing, bro, but it's just like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Stick to flipping, bro.
Yeah, like baby, it's okay. I got us. Don't worry. I got this. But nah, she helped me a lot. And I'm not gonna lie, like maybe 4 out of the 7 songs are maybe about her, which is crazy.
You think that you would have made that song as good without her help, or she definitely like made it?
I think I would have figured it out, but I don't want to say I would have made it that sound the way it is. And like I think it happened for a reason, and she did. If she heard it, especially that. It had so much meaning, not only to me, but it had a meaning to her of like the song was about. I guess she shaped it into how she wanted to hear and what I guess to the point like how she felt it needed to sound. And like it did. It came out good and I liked it.
Yeah, I think, you know, in theory, like the best music is always like in collaboration, whether it's with a producer, a fellow songwriter, or a fellow like, you know, some of the best songs that we know in history have these badass backup vocals.
Yeah.
Like all the fucking like Thuggish Ruggish Bone. It's the Thuggish. Like who the fuck is that girl singing that shit, dog? Without that girl singing that part, like
bro.
this song is not the same.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like music, like it leads itself to like, even if someone's like writing bars for you, a bar or two here, I don't feel like it's a big issue. Like, but you know how people have issue with Drake having ghostwriters? How do you feel about that?
Honestly, bro, my thing is just like if it's working, if it's not broken, why fix it? You know what I mean? Like, I get it. People are like always talk shit on Drake and just be like, bro, like he doesn't write his own shit. But I was like, do you think he gives a fuck if you think he doesn't write his own shit, bro? This man has his own label, has fucking planes everywhere, has everything. This man's living life. Like, if that was my biggest like downfall, people like, oh, just people write some shit for you. Like, okay, like who cares? Like I'm still living my best life, and you're just hating on mine. So why are you hating on mine? Just figure yours out. That's the way I see it.
Obviously, you know, you're a great singer. Shout out to you, dude. Your music's actually really good. You guys should definitely go out and listen to it.
Yes,
Tell me about the learning curve of not only wanting to do music, but actually pushing that button. Like, okay, this song is actually out there. Like, what are some of the things that you learned that you wish you knew faster, as far as like buying beats, recording songs, writing lyrics, studio time, recording, uploading songs? Like, what are some of the like you know? Talk to me about that journey of learning the game.
So with me, when it comes to releasing music, I won't even finish a song if I don't believe in it. So like if I'm writing a song and like halfway through it, I'm like, bro, I don't like this fucking song anymore. I'm just gonna trash it. I'm not even gonna think about it. Like, because at the end of the day, you want to be giving out the best quality and you want to be giving out the best sound that you believe in. And if I'm having even a hint of doubt, there's times where like not too long ago, I was in the car with my boy and I was like, bro, I'm gonna make this song. And like I went through it and he was like, bro, this shit is fucking sick. When we release this, send it to me. I want that unreleased version. And it's like songs like that, like I can get a hint of like when I'm making something special like that. So when there's ever a hint of like, bro, this shit is gonna be whack, I'm not even gonna keep going. I'm just gonna toss it. And like there is times where I go back to it because I find inspiration how to make it different. So I don't completely scrap it, but for the moment, I'm just done completely and stuff like that. But every song that I've ever released or ever dropped, like it's always like from start to finish. Like I'm always gonna, if I believe that I'm gonna drop the song, I'm gonna continue it, not work on any other song, keep that sound in my head and just keep using that. Use that one.
Would you like to write music or make music in the morning, after work, in the middle of work? What are some of your like?
Honestly, it fucking varies, bro. Because my work schedule is like up and down. So I either work early in the morning, late at night, middle of the day. So it just all depends on my mood. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm like a white girl when it comes to Starbucks, bro. Like Starbucks be changing my life, bro. I have a complicated start. Like when people go to Starbucks with me, they'll be like, "Oh, let me get a caramel frap," and then you have me, "Let me get like 4 shots of espresso, 3." Yeah, bro. Like my drink is so fucking complicated, but it's just like it works, bro. That shit's strong, but it's good.
4 shots of espresso?
Yeah. Okay. So.
God damn, dog. That's crazy.
No, so
it's to me like coffee in the morning is like gambling. Like I'm either gonna have the best morning ever or fucking have to take a shit.
Yeah,
as soon as I get to work.
Station, bro. Nah, bro. So yeah, I'll get a quad, but I'll do this at like 8 o'clock at night because I'm about to go into work. So it's like I'll get a quad espresso over ice in a venti cup with 3 pumps of white mocha, add soy, and then with cinnamon cream cold foam. If y'all love Starbucks, go try that drink. I promise you're gonna be like, this shit's fire.
Damn, that's crazy.
I had a homegirl. Her name was Marina. Shout out to Marina. But she used to get that drink, and I was like, she put me on, and she's like, bro, get this. And I tried it, and she had like the fucking funniest catchphrase. She'll taste it, and she loved it. She'd be like, oh my God. I'm like, what? She'd be like, they put their whole coochie in this drink. And I was like, what? I was like, bitch, they put their what?
What does that even mean?
Bro, that's what he said. I was like, she's like, they put their whole coochie in this. I'm like, was she cute at least, bro? I want to be drinking this shit. But yeah, bro. So ever since then, like I'll say that like every once in a while, like, bro, they put their whole coochie in this. I'm like, what the fuck did you just say?
I used to have a lot more friends before I started podcasting. And when I did have friends, all I could talk about is podcasting, other podcasts. Oh, when I have my podcast, when I do this in podcast. So, you know, when you're really like in love with something, a dream of yours, I'm sure you bring up music or writing music or beats. Or, hey, listen to this. And you send people your podcast. You know, like, I feel like I was the annoying friend sometimes. And I will send them shit. And then I knew they would just, yeah, listen to it. But they didn't. How is it being that guy, that part of the friend group?
Especially recently, I started cutting out a lot of people. Like, it's to the point where it's just like, not because it's like I hate them or anything, but it's just more so like, I'm trying to focus on something and it's like I can't afford to have distractions and stuff. Not that they're distractions, but it's more so like I don't want them to feel like I'm cutting them out intentionally. You know what I mean?
Or they
like,
did something bad. Or...
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? So I tell them like, hey, bro, I'm doing some shit right now. I'm trying to figure it out. But like if you ever need me, you know, my phone's always open. Like I'm never gonna close anybody out, but it's to the point where I'm gonna do stuff. And I do have like just my close circle. Like I know that my close circle are the ones that want to hear my music. They're the ones that are like, oh bro, like, oh, you got music, or like they want to see like things that I'm doing, go to my shows, and you know, they're the ones that help me promote my stuff and stuff like that. So like I guess it's more so like entourage in the sense, like we're just like I got the people that are around me or the people that got my back. That's it. And that's the only thing I need right now currently, because I used to be the type where, you know, like even in high school, I was like the type to go fucking mob out to the mall, everyone with their fucking backpacks on, like fucking 20 kids deep. Like I used to be that type of person, just hanging out with people just to hang out with people. But then you start to realize like you need to find your clique, your specific group, and specifically people that if shit hits the fan and you're going through it, who's really there for you. And that's where I'm going through right now at this point in my life.
Yeah, I always tell my son, like right now my son's like going super hard in sports and in school and like even YouTube. He has a YouTube channel and he always tells me like, oh, how come I can't do this or why we got to do it in a certain way. I'm like, Jordan, where you're going is where not a lot of people are going to be allowed to be. You're going to be in rooms where not everyone can go with you. Where you're going, not everyone's going to be able to come with you, you know?
Yeah.
So you got to be able to do things and focus on things that other people don't want to do. That's the only way to go there. You know, like today we had to take away his phone and shit because he was giving me attitude and I was just, you know, trying to give him some tips on baseball or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was being a little bit loud, maybe being that annoying dad. But I was all like, you know, no one's going to come knocking on you like, hey, we have game 7. You want to go hit it? You want to be like the 2 outs in the bottom ninth? You want this opportunity? Like, no, they have to come. You have to be ready for that, you know? Like, it's one of those things where, like, me too, dog. I used to have a lot of friends. I used to be a part of a party crew that had like 200 members, and I was one of the main ones.
Yeah.
I used to be a part of other groups and had a lot of other people in it, right? If you know what I mean. And, you know, especially nowadays, it's just like my girl, my son, and like my immediate family. And I've never had as much success in the last few months.
100%.
And also, you know, giving up alcohol and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You do have a few songs about partying. Tell me about those songs. Like, is there a reason why you make those songs?
So I made that song maybe like 2 years ago. And funny thing is, like, I used to have this apartment and I used to live with my roommate up in Upland. And like it was during COVID and my pad was the spot to go. Even though it was an apartment, we were all fucking, I would even throw beer pong tournaments in there. And it got to the point where like every week we'd throw beer pong tournaments. And I went to the fucking Walmart, bought a WWE belt. I was like, all right, if we win the fucking tournament, you carry the belt and you have to bring that shit back. And if you don't come to claim your title, then you're not the champ no more. So we started doing that. And then I was always the type to like host the functions and start having parties. And I remember one time we had like everyone was at work. We were like talking about having a function on my pad. And my manager was just like, what are you guys talking about? I was like, Bible study. So then we started calling my kickbacks Bible study. Oh, you gonna have a Bible study tonight? Yeah, like pull up. And so we started calling them Bible studies. So then, yeah, like that, I think that inspiration for that song came from that one. It's just like, you know, everybody having a good time, having fun and just, you know, like I think one of my biggest memories, I say in the song where it's like blasting Nate Dogg, that's a throwback. And one of my favorite memories, like we're playing Pong and we're listening to that song Pong, and that was like probably the craziest night I've ever gone through in my life. But it was a good time.
Yeah, I think in that song you say, ain't no fun of the homies can have no some shit.
Yeah,
right?
you know, yeah, I pay a little homage to them right there.
What are some of your like people that you grew up listening to? Some of your favorites?
Oof. So with rap, I'll say Eminem. Obviously, Eminem's a big artist. Right now, J. Cole. Love J. Cole. J. Cole's probably my favorite artist currently. You know, the bassist, Kendrick. I like Hobson a lot. Hobson's probably one of my favorites. Jordan Lucas recently. Loved a lot of Jordan Lucas. And then with the R&B type of stuff, I love John Legend's cool. I love like trying to learn his vocal range and try to hit those notes. Then John Legend, Miguel. And then just a lot of, you know, just a little bit of everything. Like, I don't discriminate when it comes to music. Like, if you make good music or even if you just make a good song, I'm going to listen to it and I'm going to show appreciation for it.
Who are some of the people that you've been compared to? Like, oh, you kind of sound like this person.
Bro, someone tried to say I sound like Chris Brown. I was like, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, nah, bro, there's no way. I know one person they said I sounded like when I rap was Kyle. Like, a little bit like Kyle. And then Childish Gambino, I have like a Childish Gambino type of vibe to it, too, where it comes to, like, at least singing and rapping. And then, I don't know. I feel like I remember with my ex, I remember she was like, "Oh, listen to my boyfriend's song." He was just like, he makes like Drake music, and I was like, "Bro," I was like, "My bad, OG."
Fucking to me, like I was getting Justin Timberlake vibes, but without that like super high. You know, somebody does that super high pitchy voice.
Yeah.
But I was getting a little bit of Justin Timberlake vibes, you know, because growing up, I'm 33, so I'm a little bit older than you. So I still caught the end of that NSYNC era.
Yeah.
You know, and like Cry Me a River was hard.
Oh, I fucking love that song,
when I was young and shit. Like, imagine when that song came out and I was like in middle school. I had no girlfriend, but I was still heartbroken when I heard it for no reason. You know, those vibes and shit. Do you go to a lot of shows and listen to other people?
Honestly, bro, I've only been to like 2 concerts in my life, bro.
Oh, shit.
That's the trippy part.
You've been to more concerts where you performed than
Yeah, bro. Honestly, though, bro, like I've been the biggest star of my shows, but no, bro. Like I've only been to like I went to one of them was like just my Dia. Her favorite artist was Snow the Product.
Okay,
that was her favorite artist, and so we went there, and it was cool. It was a lot of fun. I liked it. But then I think the other concert I went to was a Miguel concert. Mm-hmm. That's because 2 of my friends at the time they took me to he was performing at Cal State Fullerton. He was
Okay.
going to Fullerton. He did like a little show there, and that was cool. That was probably seeing him sing like on Skywalker and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun.
That's dope.
But I wish I want to go out more. I want to start. Recently, I'm starting to like be like, all right, I'm gonna go to see this. I'm gonna go see this. Like I remember my friend wanted to go see Bad Bunny. I was like, fuck, bro, it's fucking Bad Bunny tickets. I was like, nah, watch that on YouTube, bro. For now, I was like, well, let's find something. I'm down to go to a festival. Like, if I'm gonna spend money, I'm gonna spend money to go to a festival, because then at least like I don't have a for sure seat, and maybe I don't know if I'll be close far, but at least I get to experience that artist and multiple artists at the same time, and I'd rather do that, because no matter what, I can hear them and I can feel what they're feeling. Like that's one of the best things I feel like as an artist, is like you can relate to them. Like a lot of people listen to it and like they do relate to the message, but then with me, I feel like I relate to how they're feeling when they're performing or how they're singing and what they're doing.
I also noticed that you perform a little bit. Do you get nervous when you perform?
Low key at first, like there's like, you get those first like, the stage fright jitters. Like when I'm on stage, I'm good. But like it's the anticipation performing, like not knowing the type of crowd, especially the shows that I've been performing at. Like it's like real diverse music. Like I think the last show I did on last Wednesday, there's this guy with a guitar and he was just like, kind of doing like some like emo rock type of music. And I was just like, shit, I don't know if this is my crowd. Like I don't know if they're really gonna vibe with me and stuff like that. So then I get on stage and then I look around. I'm like, you know what? No matter what, whether it's 5 people, 1 million people, 10 people, 20, whatever the case may be, I'm gonna go out there and perform. Because like those people at least had the energy to come see me, so I'm gonna give them the energy to show them that it was worth coming to see me. So no matter what it is, like I'm gonna go on the stage, I'm gonna bounce around, I'm gonna jump around. Like there is times where I do get tired and I get out of breath. I'm like, fuck, dude. Like the last show I even said, I was like, bro, I need to do some motherfucking cardio. Everyone started dying, but like, and then there has been times where I did get nervous and I forget the lyrics of my own fucking song, and I'm like, shit.
That's something that I would get the most nervous about. Like if I have a song, if I forget my own lyrics, like fuck, dude.
Yeah, bro. Because then people are like, oh, he has a fucking ghostwriter. He didn't even write this shit. But no, like it's like you just like you get so in the moment where you just like, fuck, what did I say that already? But no, like, but I have backtracks too. Like always when I rap, I always backtrack. So I'll just like mumble like, oh, then find it again. But
yeah.
But recently I haven't had that problem. But at first, when I was first performing, yeah.
No, that's it's for me it's like a nerve-wracking thing to be in front of people. I've even had live podcasts before, and it's very different from like pre-recorded podcasts. You go live, is a whole different level.
There's no changes. You just gotta just straight to it.
How do you feel after the show, after you perform?
I feel great. I feel happy, especially like not on some non-cocky shit. It's just like it just shows how much like belief people have in me, because like there'll be times where I come up and then everyone that's performing like, hey, we gotta link up. Like other performers will dab me up and be like, hey, we gotta hit the studio together. Like your shit's dope. And then I have like random like people, like especially random ass Diaz coming up to me like, oh, what's your IG? What's your Spotify? Like what can I listen to your music on? I'm like, everything, whatever you want. But yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy feeling, because like there's never been like negative feedback, and that's one of the things I love about the music that I do make. Is like I feel like I do make music for everybody, in a sense, where it's just like I do, like, not that my songs are, every song is for everybody, but I do feel like I have a song for every feel or every emotion that people do feel at times in their life.
What are some of your current like goals that you have for yourself?
Right now, current goals, I want to get into the song called G.I. Joe that I have. And one of my biggest dreams is to get that song on a movie. Like it just sounds like such a movie song. Like I can, when I sing it, and I think of like, because I was watching the Transformer movies with my son, and at the end they have like a G.I. Joe like I guess like cameo
post credit.
Yeah, post credit, and they're just like showing that they're gonna do like a crossover. And I remember looking at my friend, I was like, bro, imagine if I got my G.I. Joe song for that movie. That'd be fucking pretty sick. And I was just like, like if it happens, it happens, and I'm gonna manifest it, and hopefully it does. But that'd be crazy.
That'd be fucking dope. Why is that song so important to you?
I wrote that song with my son in mind, and like one of the biggest things, like, it just, whenever I think about fighting and going to war, like, or just doing things out of will, it's just everything, all that energy is going towards him and making sure that I can provide and be that man for him, and just like, yeah, stuff like that.
That's dope. Is there any other like songs that you made videos for that you're proud of?
For G.I. Joe, that's one of the biggest dream videos I want to make, and it's like it is sound like a big production. So if there's any sponsors that want to help me out with that video, let me know. But yeah, like that video would go crazy. So the concept I want to do is, it's gonna start off me in a war scene, right? Like kind of go on a secret mission type of G.I. Joe vibe. And it's just gonna be going through, accomplishing the mission, running through it, just running through the basic challenges that you can say, and I'm gonna get to the boss level. And it's gonna be this giant person that there's no way it looks like I'm gonna defeat this person. And he's constantly kicking my ass back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, until I find a way to finally defeat him, to kind of like symbolize, no matter how many times I'm getting beaten down, no matter how many times I'm getting discouraged or put down, I'm gonna find a way to overcome that challenge. But instead of the video continuing that war scene, it's gonna zoom out and it's gonna see my son sitting down playing with 2 G.I. Joe action figures. And it's gonna show me approaching my son like, all right, Papas, I'm gonna go to work. I'll see you later. I'll pick you up later. And as I'm walking out the door, he takes another look at me and sees me in that G.I. Joe outfit that I was wearing in the video, to also symbolize like, oh, when my dad said he's gonna go to work, he's gonna go outside and he's gonna fight for me and do whatever he can to provide for me. So that's the concept. That's
fucking hard.
That's what I want to do, bro. That's like my dream. Like when it doesn't come, honestly, when I come down to it, it comes to the other side of music, like directing would also be pretty cool. I feel like I would have a real art for that, like loving how to direct and like doing stuff like that.
Yeah, I think, like even making music, but like you said, directing and stuff, it's all really about perspective, and I think when you pick like a point of view, a perspective, and a certain angle, that's everything, because you saying the G.I. Joe, when you first think about G.I. Joe, what do you think about? Well, I think about Ice Cube, right? Because Triple X and all that stuff. Yeah. But you think about soldiers fighting at war, but like you having that little perspective of like being someone's hero, which is your son, I think that's super dope.
Yeah, bro.
You do have a song called Reasons, dog. I want to talk about Reasons right now. It's probably one of my favorite songs that you have. Yeah. Because, well, I'll let you get into it. Well, what made you want to write that song?
Honestly, bro, so I wrote this song. So the inspiration, so the whole song, the concept for Reasons started off after a breakup. It's about the same girl that I wrote about the songs about before. But then I started singing the lyrics and I was freestyling it. And I was like singing it for my 2 friends in the car, because they used to always like put beats on me for me and be like, oh, rap for us, rap for us. So then I was singing it and I started listening to the lyrics. And I was like, this is not really about breaking up. This is more so like how the fuck I'm feeling right now. Like I was feeling like depressed. I was feeling upset. And like, like I did a long time ago. I did try to, thank God bless, it didn't work. And he gave me another second chance, and it just showed me like I needed to keep going, like don't give up. But like I wrote that song reminding me of like times get tough and times get hard. And as us being a man, we're always looked at to, we need to be strong. We can't be so emotional. We like, suck that shit up. Stop being a fucking pussy. Like you need to stop, get your shit together. But at the same time, like, what message did I give the person that's really feeling down? Like, that's not the type of advice they need. They don't need to be, when they're ready in the dirt, why are we going to dig them deeper? Like, you just need to show them, like, they're trying their best, and no matter what, they're not alone. And you have to put yourself around people that can show you that. And if people are telling you to give up and just stop trying and stuff like that, then you're around the wrong people. It's not about you at that point. It's about others. And the reason why you're feeling that way is because who you're putting yourself around. And I just wanted to give out a message to people that are going through it, just like, you're not alone. A lot of people go through it. I've gone through it. I mean, at some point, I'm pretty sure everybody goes through it. And it's just one of those things where I wanted to make sure that I gave out that message that keep on trying to keep fighting and stay strong.
Do you feel like releasing that song like was therapeutic for you, as far as like it kind of helped you get over what you were feeling? And if you didn't release it, you think you would like held that in a little bit longer?
Yeah, 100%. Like if I wasn't, like, I'm thankful for that moment, because if I would have made that song, like to this day, like there'll be times where I'm singing and I'll start crying. Like I'll start getting emotional. I'll start weeping. I'll start thinking about past experiences, not only to that situation that I went through, but just like in general, life in general. Like life is hard. Life is always going to be hard. And no matter how good we have it, how big we make it, and even like people at the top, they still get that way. You know what I mean? Like we're always going to feel this way. And like, it's not about what we do about it. It's how we get through it. And it's just like, you just got to keep that mind state. And like, one of my biggest things is like Kobe being my biggest inspiration is that Mamba mentality. And Mamba, when people think of Mamba mentality, they just think like, you got to work hard, you got to grind, you got to focus. But it's also making sure that you're strong within, not just in your life, but mentally and just in your heart. Your heart has to be just as strong as your mind, because they work as a pair and stuff like that.
That's dope. You did mention Kobe, so we'll take this on a lighter note. Tell me your Kobe story.
All right. So once upon a time, I was in, I think, my junior year. And I went to a basketball camp, and it was Kobe Bryant's basketball camp, and probably my biggest dream come true. I thought it was going to be one of those things where you go and Kobe's like, what's up, guys? This is how you hit the fadeaway. You guys have a good night. And I was like, cool. Like, I was like, it's just a flex, and you went. So then we put us into teams in this camp, and where they're like, oh, we're gonna have a photo op with Kobe, and I thought it was just gonna be like Kobe, like a cutout fucking picture of Kobe just standing there like that. So then we go and like, sure enough, Kobe's right there with a basketball. I'm already fucking freaking. I'm like, bro, that's fucking Kobe. That's fucking Kobe. And like, I don't know anybody this fucking camp, so I'm just like, bro, that's Kobe. And then like, there's a bunch of fucking foreign people that probably don't know what the fuck I'm saying. And then doing my luck, they're just like, all right, you sit right there, you sit right there, and they point at me, like, you sit right there. And then sure enough, sitting right here next to Kobe, touching knees, and I was like, bro, I could die right now. This is a dream come true right now. Like, bro, this is the biggest moment of my life. I was like, thank God, this is amazing.
That was dope. You probably don't even remember anything you learned from shooting. You're just like, I sat next to Kobe.
Nah, bro. My homeboy right there, bro. He knows I still know some things on the court. You don't even lie. If I'm in the corner, I'm not missing, bro. Corner specialist.
You grew up a Laker fan?
Yes, sir.
But you grew up in Fontana.
Kentucky, bro.
So are you guys from Fontana? Are you guys are still Laker fans?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you have those Rancho kids that are like Clippers ever since Lob City, but nah, bro, it's still Lakers.
Tell me about growing up in Fontana.
It was cool. I loved it. Been there since, born and raised, growing up. It's a great vibe. I love it. Went to school at Etowanda High School. We had a lot of scandals at that school, which is pretty crazy.
For example, what's the craziest one?
One of the biggest stories, like my freshman year, my mom wanted to take me out, I guess. It was our principal. He was having one of the students.
No.
He was cheating on his wife and stuff like that. And then turns out he ended up going to he ended up moving away with this girl. Like they ended up building a life together. I was like, that's cool. You fucked up your life, but at least you found something else, bro. But
damn.
Yeah, bro. So then my mom, I remember I came over. My mom's like, hey, your principal, he didn't touch you, right? I was like, no, mom. I was like, I promise. Like, he didn't know. They were good. And she's like, que bien. I'm like, okay.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, that's
bro.
crazy.
That's wild. And
that was your freshman year?
My freshman year, bro. And then throughout the years, we get bomb threats. So then they would put us in a corner. Like, if a fucking bomb happened, we'd be fine sitting behind like 3 fucking desks. Like, something would happen. And the whole concept, like the school shooter drills, those don't make any sense to me. I think it was Dave Chappelle that touched base on it, where he was like talking. He was just like, the school shooter drills don't make sense because the school shooter is in that class. So you're teaching him where the fuck the kids are at. So he's like, where are the kids at again? Where are we all meeting? So it's like, bro, those things don't make any sense. But I mean, I guess they have to try to find a way, but still.
Were you guys at risk for like school shooters or what?
No, it's just like, this country's crazy, bro, when it comes to that. I think it's just like every high school now, they all prepare for that, like what's going to happen. Because it just, sadly, it happens too often. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those crazy things where that's one of the biggest things why I want my son to go to private school. Because I feel like, even though it's like it could still happen, don't get me wrong, but I feel like,
chances are a little lower.
Yeah, it's a lot lower.
And God's there.
You know what I mean? Amen. They're praying over there. I'm like, hey, lock the doors.
Shout out to God, my
Put
boy.
some holy water on the handle. We're fine.
It's funny. But, you've been in Fontana for a long time. Have you noticed any changes in just the IE in general?
Bro, everything is just changing. Everything's to the houses. Like, I remember when we first moved there, I was like 3 years old, but like, I remember it just being nothing but fields. But now they have Victoria Gardens there. And, like, even Rialto's on the upbringing, bro. Like, they have a whole mall. They have, like, a movie theater that I go to. I don't even go to Victoria Gardens anymore in Rancho. I go to the one in Rialto because it's, like, a sick-ass movie theater. And they have, like, a bar there. They have everything there. I was like, bro, I need to fucking move to Rialto. Fuck Fontana. Like, no, I love Fontana, but Rialto's coming up.
Do you feel like, like, people from Rancho Cucamonga, Fontana, Rialto, do you feel like you guys all look down upon each other?
Low key, I feel like no matter what.
Who's the bougie one?
Rancho, bro. Rancho Cucamonga, bro. Rancho Cucamonga, bro. Even Friday touched based on that shit, but yeah, Rancho for sure. They're the bougie one, especially when you start talking about high schools. High schools over there are like the fucking rivals. Like when you bring up like Rancho Cucamonga versus like the school I went to, Etowanda, it's like Lakers and Clippers there, and then you start talking about like Full High is like the Raiders, bro. Like they're considered the Raiders, like they're the thugs out there, bro. Full High is considered the thugs out there. Etowanda's like cool. We're known for our basketball team. Etowanda's known for the Hoopers. Rancho's like, I want to say football, but I don't know. But it's been a while. But when I was there, it was Etowanda used to be the basketball team, and we was there for the Ball Bros. Like I was with that era and like going to see LaMelo, all them play. It was cool, but they kicked our ass, but it was cool. We held in, but
yeah. I mean, they're two NBA stars, right?
Yeah,
like,
bro.
It was inevitable. They were inevitable. They were gonna win. Did you know that the Kardashians are from Rancho Cucamonga?
Dead ass, bro.
Yeah.
Oh,
they used to be from this party crew in Rancho Cucamonga, and they took this picture at the mall. Those strip pictures, and they're like throwing up this party crew and shit.
Oh my god, that's crazy. From Rancho.
Yeah, I think they moved to like whatever Beverly Hills, like when
See,
they're
that's
older.
how you know it's bougie, bro. Bro, you see fucking Kim Kardashian? Her Skims is sponsored the NBA.
The whole NBA?
Yeah, bro. And they didn't sponsor the WNBA.
Damn.
I was like thinking about, like, bro, that's fucked up. How you and then you have the WNBA saying we don't make as much and stuff like that. But then you have these celebrities backing up the NBA when Skims is low key women mostly, like.
Yeah. So it's always been women's, but I think they recently did men's line.
Yeah, but then she just saw it instantly and was like, fuck it, I date the fucking basketball players. Might as well give them some chonies too. You know what I mean? Like,
that's fucked up. Are you big into like in the local scene as far as like other rappers or singers or like podcasters? Like, you know, do you guys have like a unity of like what is called like a union of rappers and singers?
Honestly, bro, the only homeboy is my homie Davey. Like, we've been starting to click and we've been trying to figure things out. We actually had this idea of like throwing little IE shows like right there in Rancho. There's like this Epic event center, and we're like, bro, how dope would it be to just rent that out, have shows, $10 a head to come in, like, you know, serve alcohol, put some extras and whatever we had to do, just like start doing our own thing and like promoting ourselves in that way. I was like, it's a mission, because whenever I perform, I do come all the way out here to LA and stuff like that. And a lot of my fan base is becoming LA, which is cool because I love LA and eventually I do want to move out here.
Right.
But it is cool, like, to have where you're from and where your area and just having them appreciate your craft, and not only your craft, but those around you, and showing that we're out here too. We're out here grinding. We all here out here having a dream as well.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to all my people listening from the IE and Pomona, and it's crazy because I'm from Southgate, you know, I'm from LA and shit, like, but it's crazy how like sometimes your own section doesn't believe in you or just kind of pushes you off to the side. Because I'm gonna be honest, I recently have had a lot more guests from the IE, like Davey and Infinite Dreams, and like, you know, people from out there. I feel like I don't know why, but people from like not your section always are the first ones to support you.
Yeah,
which is so fucking That's weird crazy. To me, dog.
I feel like it's one of those things where it's just like, it's a territorial thing. Like, no one, like, kind of like when people leave the hood and they give them shit about leaving the hood. Like, wow, look at Mr. fucking Hollywood now. I feel like it's kind of the same concept, because everyone that's not from that area is supporting you. But then when you go back, it's your own people shitting on you, like, oh, Mr. Big Time now stuff. I think it's that same kind of type of vibe. You know what I mean?
At first, when I was first listening to your music, I was getting a little bit of pop vibe. Okay. So if you could choose to collaborate with one artist to make it a fucking pop fucking anthem, would you choose Post Malone, Bruno Mars, DJ Khaled, or Joyner Lucas?
Oof, Joyner Lucas would be sick. Just the storytelling of Joyner Lucas is fire. But if I was gonna make like
it's gotta be a fucking anthem.
I feel like Bruno Mars, bro. No matter who Bruno Mars, every time he's featured with somebody, it's always been a fucking banger, especially with Anderson .Paak when they came out with that Silk album. And like, no matter what, like, even back in the day when he did Billionaire with Travis, right?
McCoy.
Yeah, he did that, and like, that was a banger. Like, everybody was singing that song. To this day, if you blast that, people are blasting that. Like, I feel like Bruno Mars just has that. He just has that touch to a song where he could just take it up to another level. And like, I feel like it'd go with Bruno Mars, and like, it'd be nice to like have someone sing and I can actually just do the rapping part, or even switch it up. Who knows? Like, have a song where he's rapping and I'm just fucking singing. Like, it'd be cool. Just swirl it around. Like, I sing the chorus one time and then he does the verse, and then I come in, he does the chorus, and I do the verse on the second one. Just like, that'd
be tight.
It's the same song, sounds the same, but the tones are different throughout the song. It just like continues, just flows.
Do you have like some dream like collabs that you think about a lot?
One of J. Cole, obviously. Love fucking J. Cole. That'd be amazing.
Why J. Cole?
I just love his music. Like, he inspires me. Like, I remember when there's that whole debate, like, who's better, Kendrick or J. Cole? Like, it was always them two, like, always head and head. And it's like Kendrick's cool, and like, I've never been the type to like grow up in that thug setting and the setting. Like, you know, I grew up in Rancho Cucamonga, you know, and really like, Tucky can get hood sometimes, but right. Especially when you're around full high. But like, it's never really been that struggle for me. But when I listen to J. Cole and you listen to songs like, you know, the Can't Get Enough or Workout and stuff like that, when it comes to like the sim shit, or like when it comes to like, you know, life stuff like that, like, I relate more to his music and I can feel the message of what he's talking about. Like, even on the way here, we're talking about the song with Joyner Lucas and J. Cole, where it's like, I was like, he was like, I broke your heart, huh? You know I was from the start, huh? That song. And it's like talking about breaking up and like how you feel when you cheat and stuff like that. I was like, bro, this fucking song hits too close to home. And just like, I just feel his music.
You also have a song about like not wanting to mess with a girl no more because she has a boyfriend.
Oh,
Right? That's what that song's about, right?
Oh my god! So we're gonna touch base on that song.
Yeah.
So it's about that same girl that inspired the album,
Oh,
bro.
goddamn.
So this girl was in a relationship for. So we started hooking up. She didn't have a boyfriend, and then she told me she wasn't ready to be in a relationship. And then 2 months later, I find out she gets a boyfriend. So then we stopped talking, and then she hits me up saying, "I miss you. I fucked up. I should have been in a relationship with blah blah blah." And we start hooking up, and at first I didn't know she was still with him. And we just started building this trend, and we started hooking up, and then eventually I did know that she had a boyfriend. And I was like, at this point, I was like, well, fuck it, I'm not fucking up my relationship. So I was like, oh well. Like now I look back and I was like, bro, I'm a fucking asshole. But during that time,
scumbag, dog.
scumbag, bro. But that's why men are trash. Scum of the year.
Sucios.
But so then fucking so that happened. And then I remember, so the two friends that I had that took me to that Fullerton concert, I met them through her. And I ended up becoming friends with them because they were like, fuck her mood because of what she was doing. But they still sided with me. Well, it was a weird situation, but they were my homies. And I remember one time they told me a story how they went to a Halloween event and homeboy was like scared of clowns. Like he was like scared and he was like crying, like hiding behind her. And I was just like, nah, I see why she regrets it. But at the same time, I was like, well, fuck. I was like, you guys should have not told me that information. They're like, why? And so the next week, I sent a Snapchat to them. I was like, hey, is this song too petty? And then the chorus was like, I heard he's scared of clowns, but he looks like one now. And she was there just like, and then, yeah, so it went off from there. And they're like, you need to fucking release that shit. That shit is fire. So then that's another video I want to do where it's just like, they go to a Halloween event. And then he's like scared of clowns, and I'm like with pretty much taking his bitch the entire time through the video. And then as they leave together, it's gonna show that fool leaving in clown paint, just walking to the car as I'm just leaving, doing my own thing. Bro, the concepts are there, bro. The concept ideas are there. So
damn, that's fucking crazy, dog. I like the melody. I think you have a great ears or like natural ability to just write really good melodies.
Yeah.
Do you try it? Is that something that just comes natural for you?
Well, like I'll listen to the beat, like so when it comes back to like I won't write until I feel it. Like I'll listen to it and I'll just hum it. I'll be like, And once I hear it, and I'll start putting words into it, start filling in the gaps, and like, all right, and then I'll start thinking about, all right, what is this song? Does it sound like a love song, hate song? What am I doing? And then yeah, so I start filling in the gaps. I just like going by piece by piece by piece, and just once I find the hook, that's when the rest of the song is easy, because I feel like not a lot of people remember the verses. Like people that really love the song, they're gonna learn them. But when you hear something on the radio, like they'll stop at the verse and they'll continue back at the chorus, just fucking singing their ass off. And I'm just like, getting the hook is probably one of the biggest, most important things, especially if you want your music heard and stuff like that.
Tell me one of your most cringiest high school memories, dog.
Oh my God. So I've always been into music, and I think the biggest, cringiest one is when I asked a girl out to homecoming.
Okay.
And then, so I remember, I think it was School Loop at the time, and I told her, I was just like, hey, senora, is it okay if I come in and...
Yeah, as a teacher.
Yeah, as the teacher. And I was like, is it okay if I come in and ask this girl to homecoming during your class? She's like, oh my God, that'd be cute. Yeah, please do that. So I was like, I went in. First period, 8 o'clock in the fucking morning. Way too early to do any of this shit. And I walk in. I don't even say anything, bro. I just awkwardly walk in with my homie Robo, and we go straight to the front of the whiteboard, and I just look, and he just starts beatboxing. This fool was the sickest beatboxer I've ever known. We'd always make some verses during class. But so he starts beatboxing, and I was like, I think it started off like, this girl is so amazing. Like some corny ass shit, bro. But I didn't care. And then I was like, every time I see your face, I started cheating. Like, I don't remember the fuck it was, but I remember singing that. And then I started walking up to her and I started rapping, and then everybody's like bouncing to it, like feeling it, like, yeah, as corny as it was, it still was catchy. And then I just ended like, would you go to homecoming with me? And she's like, oh my God, yeah. But yeah, that's probably like the corniest thing I've ever done with my music, or just done in general. But
how did that start in? What happened?
So funny thing is, so we go to homecoming, and we go to like, you're supposed to go have dinner before homecoming. Like, I'm like, I'm a hopeless romantic. A lot of people don't know that about me, but like, I do love doing romantic things, especially growing up with like 3 sisters, being the only boy. They're like, you better fucking treat a girl like this, or others will beat your ass. I'm like, all right. So we go to, so I pick her up and we go to Cheesecake Factory, which I learned now you can't fucking take bitches to Cheesecake Factory anymore, bro. So you can't do that anymore. There's a whole fucking list. So then we go to Cheesecake Factory, and she's like, brings her friend, and I was like, cool, it's whatever, like, I'll deal with it. So then I pay for dinner and we leave. And I don't know what the fuck made her switch up. So we get in the line. There's 2 lines. There's one for the guys and there's one for the girls. So I go in the guy line. The guy line's obviously moving faster than the girls because we don't have a bag or anything. So I walk in. But before then, they're like, oh, where's your date at? And then she was just like, oh, I don't have a fucking date, blah 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 blah. I was like, bitch, what the fuck? I just took your ass to Cheesecake Factory. I just paid for everything. I was like, all right, whatever. So I didn't take it any personal. I just like got in my line, walked in. So I get past security, and then she's like, oh, wait for me, I'm right here. I'm like, you're not my date. I was like, why would I wait for you? And I walked back inside and started dancing with as many girls as I can. I was like, fuck you, dude. I'm gonna go do me. And ever since then, bro, I was just like, nah.
Damn, that's on her though. That's kind of a bitch
100%,
move.
bro. 100%.
You think it's because you took her to Cheesecake Factory?
Bro, that's exactly what I think it is, bro. Why you gotta fight with me at Cheesecake? You know I let it go there. God damn.
Hey, Cheesecake low key sometimes can be fire, but they got way too many options.
Bro,
dog.
too fucking many. I saw that. There's like this fucking YouTube video where this homeboy just did like ate everything on the menu, bro.
I love
it's like
that.
a three video long fucking
Yeah,
scene.
that's fucking Keith from Try Guys.
Yeah, bro. I was like, God damn.
Yeah, usually it's an hour long. And so he's like, he eats everything in the restaurant, and it's usually one episode is an hour long. He had 3 hour long.
That's why I
episodes.
said, I was like, there's no fucking way. Like, at last episode, all the cheesecakes. I do fuck with the cheesecakes, bro. Like, bro, it took 3 hours to get to the main point, bro. Like, fuck.
Yeah, shout out to the Try Guys. I fucking love those white boys.
Yeah,
dog.
bro. Those folks are funny, bro. Those shits are fucking funny.
Dog, thank you again for pulling up to the
I appreciate
podcast,
it
coming
again,
all the way
bro.
from where you live and shit. So I really appreciate it. Tell the people what they can expect from you next and where they can find you.
Honestly, you just start expecting big things. You can find me on Instagram under Mr_J Nunez. And you can find me on Spotify under Nunez and Apple same way under Nunez.
All right, dog. Shout out to our Patreon, our newest Patreon member, Most Blunted. Shout out to him. Also, all the people who are winning merch this week. Shout out to you guys. Remember, if you're watching this early, leave the comments right now. Shout out to all our people on the broadcast channel, also on Instagram. And yeah, man, like we always say, pull up, turn up, and stay lit. Let's get it.
Yes, sir.